Hi Soul Fam, how are you? Welcome back to my channel, Spiritualdaosith. I'm Daosithlemay. I hope you are all doing great out there, you beautiful people, my Soul Fam, brothers and sisters. This is a new energy update for April 2024. For all of you that are new, welcome. This is where I share the numerology, the astrology, and perhaps some major energetic themes that may impact you during this month. And hopefully this video helps you navigate this energy and tumultuous time period. And if it does help you and it resonates with you, please subscribe. Check out my other social media platforms in the description box below. Okay, so before I get started, if you haven't done so, go out and get my book, Becoming the Creator, A Practical Guide to Spirituality and Connection. This is just a down-to-earth practical guide to help you through your own spiritual awakening, your spiritual journey, utilizing the insights from my guides, as well as my life experiences and how I empowered myself, found more peace, joy, and love in my life, and hopefully it does the same for you. You can go find more information about that on my website, spiritualdaosith.com, or go to Amazon, Books of Millions, etc., and you can see or find more information and buy that book there. So, as I always do, I always like to review some of the headlines that came out of March. I told you in my major themes for 2024 video, if you haven't seen that, go check that out as well, about how the reality of our world, the range of our projections is going to make it feel like the truth. Reality is stranger than fiction, okay? And that's certainly what's playing out. There's so much that's happening lately, and it's hard to keep up with it, but I'll just run down a few of the things that I thought was worth mentioning. We, in the U.S. here, had more of those spy balloons going across the U.S., huge Texas fires and that are occurring, as well as still haven't heard any answers back or what happened in the fires in Hawaii. About Trump remaining on the ballot per the Supreme Court. Huge snowstorm in California. Global outage for social media. Politicians, I had mentioned this, politicians not seeking re-election. Haiti falls into chaos, and perhaps the fear that was put out there regarding cannibalism and people taking over that government. The CDC had disclosed a report on myocarditis. I think that's how you say it. If I butchered it, I apologize. But it was a 148-page report, and the entire thing was completely blacked out and redacted. What does that tell you about it? Something to think about. France decides to go to war in Ukraine. Kate Middleton scandal and what's happening there. Trump's assets that were supposed to be seized by the Attorney General in New York, and the fines, and then what transpired about being that the fine was completely reduced to something far less than what was put out there, and his assets weren't actually seized. We're having major protests across the board. How about the Puff Daddy or Sean Combs raid and scandal that's happening there? The Baltimore Bridge collapse, unbelievable scene. And then recently the AT&T data leak for those who use that service or has used that service in the past. So that's just a few things. It was absolutely insane with all the news that had been coming out and trying to keep up with it. So that list could have gone on forever, but that's not what this video is all about. So you can see the intensity of the energy coming up, and how collectively that's being played out for us individually. And this month isn't going to be any different. So the numerology we're dealing with this month is around 4. Usually 4 is about stability, finding a new foundation, setting solid footing. Imagine a 4 being tipped up on its head, and it basically looks like a chair, right? This is a grounding number. This is typically about structure and how to go forward through accomplishing the first part of the Trinity, the 1, 2, 3, new foundation, and how do we go forward from some of that learning and that spiritual growth. The numerology for the year is around 8. Talked about this already. This is a number that's assumed with the idea of power, authority, financial. I highlight that specifically because with regards to manifesting, I think those structures are going to be under great pressure this month, and we should see a lot of things manifesting for us collectively as well as individually. So the combination of the 4 with the grounding in the foundation, in the legs of our chair, with the manifesting number of the 8 with power, financial reward, and bringing this into reality. This brings us into the numerology of the overall 12, which breaks down to a 3. So there is the crux of this. This is going to be where we are going to see the collective arrangements of which we are going through, the stories that we play within our lives, as well as the collective social broad network, is going to have major reflections, and we may see huge restructuring for us, especially in the United States, but as well as worldwide too. So this is not going to be an easy month. This is going to be some real shifting, core foundation shifting, restructuring, reestablishing your chair based on the things that actually manifest, that is going to be brought to us through the collective and our social groups, that individually we're going to have to readjust ourselves going forward. So what is the astrology that's going to aid us as we go through, what is the astrology that's going to aid this numerology as we go through the month of April? Number 1, the first day, April 1st, we are going into a Mercury retrograde in Aries. This is going to amp up this idea around fighting, irritability, frustrations. So try not to get tied down on things that take your energy, that bother you, and try to focus on things that you can control in your life, right? You may see a lot of collective noise, but focus on the things within your life that you can control that bring you happiness, right? What can help you bring more productivity in your life versus being sucked into all these distractions on the external. Also, this is where the last quarter moon in Capricorn occurs. This is going to be cleaning out things for your goals, cleaning out and readjusting your life goals going forward based on the numerology as well, right? You're reestablishing your foundation so you can go forward in a clearer path for your goals. Also, remember, this is April Fool's, so a lot of things can flip and twist on you. Don't get all lost and lose sight of what is important to you based on what occurs on this day, because this could just be a very fleeting energy, at least for this day, and just to keep yourself focused on what's important for you, work on your own productivity. What are the things that you can control as you go through this Mercury retrograde, at least until the end of the month. All right. On April 5th, Venus goes direct in Aries. This will push new energy into your love life or into your relationships. This is going to bring about a fresh excitement, vitality to your relationships, something to really enjoy and to go forward with. On the 8th of April, this is the big thing that many people have been projecting out into the social media, into the social world, into our collective. This is a big thing that many people are focusing on this month. And I had mentioned about this in my last video with regards to the lunar eclipse going into the solar eclipse this month, and perhaps some of the things that you may want to pay attention in regards to this energy as you go through this portal. But looking at the pairing of the numerology as well, of the 4 and the 8, just emphasizing the things that I mentioned about the numerology of the 4, about foundation, and then the 8 regarding these structures and manifesting. This is the solar eclipse in Aries, okay? This is going to kick up new energy, but this is tied with regards to the Mercury retrograde energy as well. So I want you to think of things around second chances or things that need to be revisited in your life so that a new beginning can take place, all right? This is going to be highly contested energy, highly contested day. It's really going to be important for you to not get hijacked on the external collective experience, but to focus on yourself and what comes up. This is going to happen a few days before and a few days after this event, and it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult energy to go through, but it can be used for your highest good if you don't get sucked into all the collective noise, all right? On the 15th of April, we have the first quarter moon in Cancer, emotional adjustments, new emotional structure, in line with the numerology of the 4, right? On the 19th, the sun enters Taurus. Grounding energy comes into play after all this fiery Aries energy that's been playing about, giving you this boost of energy. And now it's a way for us to ground that through the numerology of the 4, grounding the new energy, grounding your new goals into the physical. On the 23rd of this month, we have the full moon in Scorpio, manifesting transformations, okay? Dealing with things that need to be resolved. If you haven't been dealing with that through the eclipse energy and the numerology, this is going to be a huge boost in that as well. And we're going to be feeling more empowered to deal with things as we go through this time period. All right, and on the 29th, we had the Venus enters into Taurus. This is now taking that new excitement, that fresh vitality energy that you just got injected in your relationships, both romantic and non-romantic, and being able to bring increased connection, stability within those relationships, grounding all that fresh energy so that you can use that and find a new place of balance going forward in those relationships. And then lastly, on the 30th of April, we have Mars enters Aries. Major jump in energy to take initiative, to drive, the drive to get going, to do what you want. All right, so you can see that the numerology and the astrology is going to align with this massive, potent kind of restructuring and manifesting, perhaps in a very big way, in the power authority structures in our reality around finance, around authority, the social groups, etc., that could bring about a lot of foundational changes for us. But again, sometimes it's not, we can get lost in the noise that's out there, and we really need to bring that home to see how that impacts us individually and where we can focus on the things that we control, about how it impacts us and how it makes us feel and how we can make the better choices for us going forward versus getting lost in all the noise. And that definitely plays into a lot of the themes I'm going to be talking about energetically for many of you as we go forward for the month. So don't discount the energy this month and perhaps the major collective impacts that could occur that really change how we as a collective, especially in the US, do things or get things done going forward. And again, I stress the impact of the collective agreement here that we have made with these social power, authority, financial structures, especially around the eclipse time frame. So the first major energetic theme I want to talk about is around stability, strength, and protection. All right, especially with the divine masculine energy here that's being called up, especially around the numerology of the 4 and what I've been talking about in the astrology. There's an establishment, a drive to recognize the divine masculine energy this month, and this may result or bring forth kind of this paternal aspect to you and to your family dynamic. The role, such as the male in general, typically is for protecting, to provide, and to keep safe in terms of the family unit. Especially around the 8th of this month, and then the Taurus energy coming in this month, questions to really ask yourself, to inquire about yourself is, how can you make yourself feel safe? How can you play the male masculine energy of the provider in the one that keeps you secure and to protect the family and to play that role model for others as well? The image I get is the idea of a soldier standing there, whether it be an ancient Roman soldier with a spear or whatever, or even a modern type of soldier right now, is just literally standing up straight, being unfazed, taking decisive action and executing when it's needed, right? Conveying this idea of protection and security and safety for you and for your family. So since we're talking about the masculine energy here that's being played out, many of us may have to go through the fatherly energy, the fatherly karma lineage that deals with within our own family or within our ancestral lineage as well. So how did your father or the paternal masculine energy play a role in your life? Where was this protection, security, safety instilled or not instilled in your life as well, right? How did that play with regards to how you feel security, financially, all those things? And how could that, in terms of what you've learned about yourself, be transmuted or be used for your highest good as you go forward, so you can feel more stability in your life, you can feel more secure in your life, you can feel like there's someone protecting you or doing that for somebody else as well. So another way of looking at it is this: a massive, strong tree growing up, very tall with roots really secured in the ground, right? Allowing many aspects of life to live upon it and to grow high into the sky straight with strong roots. Like that kind of stability in the masculine energy is what I'm talking about here, and how that can be used for your highest good, or just the idea and the imagery and the energy around that masculine, protective, strong security energy needs to be utilized in your life as you go through this month, especially with around the numerology and the astrology that's going to play out. That leads us into the second theme here with regards to having strong heart, strong mind, and strong emotions. The experience for many will be like the outside world is going to be about doom and gloom, and there's so much pending fear and so many things pulling at you, asking for your attention, asking for your focus, massive amounts of distraction. And your question is going to be about, as you go through this month, is how good is your foundation? How strong is is the legs of your chair? Around the numerology of the 4 and what is manifesting in the collective, how solid is your continence? Can you be impervious to the external noise in the world and the chaos and all the things that is instilled to us that's typically around fear, around pain, around separation, etc.? Okay, a lot of that is being how peaceful in your continence can you be with regards to what's happening in the world. This reminds me of the idea of keeping faith, keeping the identity of trusting the universe, surrendering to the greater aspect of you so that you know that you're okay and that all that there is taking care of you. So this, for you, many of you, it may be important if you use mantras. If you don't, then maybe adding the mantra around something with along the lines of trusting the universe, understanding or feeling that you are supported by the universe no matter what happens, to know that you are loved, to believe in the abundance that is all around you, and to know that what is occurring right now is just noise and fear. And all that it is and should be is all well and on its way to being what you need it to be. Especially with regards to the Mercury retrograde energy. There can be lots of frustrations, distractions, irritability from the outside world pulling at your focus, pulling at your energy, and you can get lost in all of that, and that can crumble upon you. And if you don't have that solid continence, that peace within you, that strong mind, that strong heart, that strong emotion, you are going to have a very difficult time balancing through this time period with regards to all the numerology, all the astrology, all the things that can be conveyed to us through the projections of the collective that could be very shocking and jarring as you go forward. So that also means if you can, find some time to ground. Find some time to be peaceful with yourself, to work through things, to check in with yourself. I talk about this all the time. Go check out my book. I have practical exercises for you to check on yourself, to listen to yourself, to understand what is going on with you, and to help you shift that energy into something that's in a better alignment for you going forward. All right. The third theme I'm going to talk about, this could be experienced with, especially with regards to transformation, especially with regards to the numerology, the 4s and the 8 in astrology. This brings about the idea that many of us will need or feel the need to control and possess and to make sure things go the way that you want them to go. All right? This is going to be difficult energy for many of us to work through, and it's within the realm of everything I'm talking about with regards to the energy and the numerology and astrology. The restructuring of your foundation, the manifesting of the collective that could shift our ideas and how we go forward. This could lead to the outcome of us trying to possess, to control our environment, to keep ourselves distracted into the material aspects of our world. So be extremely mindful of this if this is occurring in your life. It's like you are going to get wound up very tightly and you're super tense and you are really like, you can get very irritable, very frustrated, kind of like what I talked about with regards to the retrograde energy. And you could lose it. You could snap. And you can become emotionally unwound. So what I want to give you in relationship to this identity around possession and control is this concept. The world of spirit and the world of matter, okay? Spirit is akin to the idea of form, all right? Form. And matter is akin to the idea of chaos. To those that focus on control, possession, and on the idea of matter, the materialistic aspects of our lives, especially with regards to what could occur in this month, right? With regards to your foundation, finding security, stability, and the manifesting with power and financials and authority, all that kind of stuff, could leave many of you in the idea of focus on the material aspect, which is only around chaos. And when you focus on those things, the outcome is naturally going to be around control, possession, and over those materialist things, because it is all about chaos. The world of matter is only about chaos. And when you focus in trying to control only the matter, the material aspect of things, you're going to find more chaos, because that is essentially what the world of matter is. It is the identity of focusing on spirit, your connection to source, to feel love, and to know that you are abundant, and everything else associated with what I talk about with regards to spirit, that matter bends to the form of spirit. So if this is you as you're going through this month and you feel like you're caught up and you checked in on yourself and you're really feeling more controlling and you're possessive around the matter, focus on inward. The key in the way to exit this pain and suffering is to find your connection with spirit. And in that connection with spirit, you can then command the world of chaos and matter into the form of which spirit is control of, all right? Spirit is around form. You focus on form, you focus on spirit, you bring matter into form for you, all right? That is going to be vitally important for some of you out there that have been focusing on the material aspect of things. Remember, I deal with a lot of people who focus on the material aspect and they're never happy. Life continues to be spun out of control and they never get to enjoy life. They're never in the now moment because they're always about the future and the past. It is in spirit that you find the now moment. It is in spirit that you find peace. It is in spirit that you find abundance. And that is where matter conforms to the form of which spirit commands. All right? Hope that helps you. The last energetic theme for many of us will be dealing with the idea of self-care. All right? The mother energy reaches out here and asks you, as you go through this month, for what it is that you need and how to honor yourself as you go through this tumultuous time period. It can become very easily this month to lose yourself in the needs of others, especially with family if you have kids, and that which is the noise of the world. So, how can you be more loving to yourself, which in turn allows you to fill your cup and allows you to be more loving and compassionate to your others, especially with the retrograde energy and in the eclipse energy and the numerology, everything I talked about. Lots of frustration irritability, irritation, anger can come out. That can take you out of the now moment, putting you into energy draining experiences and adventures that aren't for your highest good. So, how can you bring that energy back inward where you can control the things that you can control? Rebalance yourself, become strong mind, strong heart, strong emotions, so that you can understand where you are and where you aren't getting your needs met. All right? Take time for yourself this month, because there is so much that's going to happen. And that also means don't be afraid to connect with others as well, especially with the numerology of the 3. If you're feeling really bogged down or underwater in a sense, and you're swimming or you're drowning, reaching out to social groups and communities can really help you, who are in alignment, that can lift your spirits, keep you up, help you move through this restructuring and transformation. Because the shadow aspect of that's going to be playing out this month is the idea of transformation is huge, and many of you are going to be fighting against the transformation themselves, especially as the collective starts to project and reflect a lot of that back to you. What comes with transformation is an identity of change, right? And the things that we don't like to face about them. So you distract yourself, you become out of alignment, you are out of harmony, you become diseased within the energy, and you can manifest a lot of things that aren't going to be useful for you as you go forward. Illnesses, anger, situations that could cause you to explode, especially with relationships, etc. So this means massive amounts of resistance shows up, and more pain shows up in your life because you aren't willing to allow yourself to transform. So ask yourself this, if this is you, going through a lot of resistance, what are you not allowing yourself to see? Where are you afraid to change? And why? Face these things so that you can transform. You've probably asked for it. You probably asked for these transformations, but now you're just tied to this comfortable little box, and you're not willing to do the work or face the things that you need to do to change and shift so you can become the thing that you want. So here's a really good question for you if you're going through this month and you're dealing with a lot of this. Where in your life do you feel trapped and it's causing you a lot of pain and suffering? All right? So I hope that helps you. I wish you all the joy, bliss, and tranquility as we go through this month. If you have a tough time, feel free to reach out or check out my book. That certainly is a practical guide to help you through that. I love you. All the love and light from Spirit, and may it assist you through this time period. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.